Welcome to the Fatboy FadeAway podcast. We're doing a little different today. I'm at the helm. It's August 8th.
I like it.
Like and subscribe, please. We got big news. Darren, you turned 43 today? How old are you turning?
37, Jack.
Well, it's good to have you on.
Yesterday.
Yeah. You turned 30, what, yesterday?
37.
37. Yeah, you look no older than 25.
Well, thank you. That's total BS, but I'll take it. I'll be almost 40 though now, so that's crazy to think that.
A little wild.
I don't know.
Hitting those monstrous fly balls with tennis rackets to us at 12 years old.
I've come a long way. We did our usual golf yesterday. That was good.
Yeah, the 10th anniversary.
Yep, and maybe even longer. Who knows? I don't even know exactly how far back we did that a few times. I didn't really play very well. That was a little disappointing. Right? I battled. You beat me by 4 strokes.
You're really whacking the ball all over the place.
It's not good if I'm excited that I tied you in the back nine. That's not a good.
What are you saying? I suck?
I'm saying that yes.
You're saying I suck?
Well, and then the day's not going good when you have an old man staring you down for like 3 minutes in a hole.
Yeah, it flips us off.
Also, to explain
by
to
a
the people,
70-year-old man.
It was my fault. I hit the first shot. Yeah, actually a decent shot for me. It was actually not that bad. And I tried to get greedy and try to put up another one and try to drive it far. And of course that one shanks and hits something. So it looks like a house, but not a window or anything. And then we start driving up. But I think the old man, he was staring me down even on my second and third shot. I could feel the vibe of this guy. Just like, I remember looking up and he was like, he just had the shovel over his neck. And I was like, man, if this guy was like 40 years younger, he might kill me right now. I was like, so thankfully we had a golf cart and I could outrun him. So that was good.
You missed a little important part. We were strolling by, he's staring us down, and we get the one finger salute.
That part I did miss as well.
So
I almost killed it
us off. Yeah, you did.
But as Adam would say, he shouldn't have been standing there. He should have.
Mr.
That
was fun though.
Yeah.
I also went to a rodeo
last night
at the fair. No, this was on last Sunday. I go to this rodeo. Okay. Man, patriotism is starting to feel a little racist in a weird way. Mean? I'm there with it because the rodeo is it's a really Hispanic event.
Yeah.
So it's and they're talking, and all of a sudden they go, "We're sick of all these colors being divided. There's only 3 colors that matter: the red, the white, and the blue." And half the people are like, "What the hell are we talking about?" And other people are cheering. And I'm just like, what is this guy doing? I don't know what we're doing here. And it just got really weird.
Yeah, but okay, hold on. Explain something to me first. Was he the host? Was it the MC?
He was like the host, the DJ guy of the rodeo.
Was he a white guy?
Yes, absolutely.
So that's why it was awkward, you thought? Because he was
doing all that. And he just brought up in the way I didn't describe it very well. Just the way he brought up colors. I was like, what are we doing?
You just thought he was kind of making subtle.
It was making little of any movement in colors, and there's only 3 colors that matter. And I just felt a little weird.
What? I think it's kind of sad though. I almost think it's more sad that you have to think about it like that in some ways. Yeah. Even though the person is probably has maybe a little agenda behind them with it, it's kind of sad that we've had to get to the point where we have to micromanage every little word like that as well. You know what I mean? Where we can't just not feel like we're getting something thrown in our face when we go to an event, some sort of either side or, you know what I mean? It's just, I find it a little bit just kind of.
It's just the way. I mean, we just have to thank our great grandfather, or how many greats, I don't know, but those guys, assholes.
You should do that research.
I'd rather not. Did you hear Bobby Bowden died? The leader
of Savage
University, according to Steve Spurrier.
I was on Twitter this morning real quick, and I saw on Savage's timeline that he tweeted something like that. I knew he had just got recently worse news. I forget for what, but yeah, I saw that.
So rest in peace, Bobby.
He was pretty. He's been out of the game like 20 years now, right? Probably about.
Nah, yeah, maybe. I don't know really. Time
He's
flies.
kind of one of those guys. He was a great coach, but I always wonder with him, like, was it your dad that kind of always was a little shady on him or something like that? I remember there being some friend of mine that's dad was not a big. It wasn't that he was necessarily a bad person. It was like the way he got it, like, I don't know. Maybe was it your dad? I feel like it was your dad.
Yeah, it was definitely my dad.
Yeah,
he always called him
he kind of always seemed a little
University.
sneaky at times with stuff, didn't he?
Isn't every college coach a little sneaky?
So what do you think the deal
like
with him
Saban's a little sneaky. Like it's sneaky Nicky or
so
Nicky. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I mean he was a good coach for sure. He could recruit. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah, exactly.
He was really good at recruiting. They were always like the most athletic team. I remember that. Every time they were
they always, except for when Chris Winkie was at QB.
That's true. But even the quarterback wasn't maybe their most athletic position, but their linebackers were always just
they always
and they always have
loaded
really good
at
running
linebacker,
backs or at least college running backs, anyways.
Yeah, that Peter Warwick year was one of the most dominant college football teams I've seen.
Yeah, that was pretty good. Yeah, that's sad to hear that he'd pass away. 91 though, that's a long.
That's a long life.
Can't complain.
I'm not counting on me making it to 91. That's not. I don't think that's in my cards. Well, let's take a little quick break. We got Giants, A's, and Team USA coming up, and we'll be right back. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to get into a little Team USA. Is it weird that it's kind of a surprising gold medal? I don't think people saw it coming. Like, people gave up on them. People were ripping them. You and Savage said they weren't going to win the gold.
Well, I think that was like, you have to give both of us a break on that one. He literally, like, he came at us with that news, like, right away at the very end of the podcast. I needed to digest my thoughts. I thought for a second, I was thinking it was a one-game elimination after that.
But it wasn't you two either. Just you two. It was a lot of people. It was like Colin Cowherd. There was a bunch of big names that Draymond went afterwards.
I probably overreacted to it because they were losing a few games before that as well. Even if it was an exhibition, they had lost a few before it. And I don't know, just you're used to them playing at a better level. They weren't playing very well. And maybe I just didn't know enough about the team that's what I meant by, like, I didn't think about it enough. Like, if I would have maybe thought through it, I might have been like, well, Holiday, Booker, and Middleton just got there. That's probably not a complete team yet. They're rolling out JaVale. He's probably not going to play much when it comes, go time. And then Durant, at the beginning, he wasn't as engaged as he was as he got going, it seemed like, in the Olympics. It's like almost when they lost that game, it almost felt like he's like, okay, now I have to be Kevin Durant, as he would say. That's what it seemed like to me.
But it's still the fact there's never been a time in Team USA history where we would, even after a loss, say they're not going to win the gold. Like, and that's where it's at the point now kind of weird that
well, not the best players played either.
No, absolutely not. I agree. They never play except for that 2008 team. Steph Curry's never even played in the Olympics.
I'm just thinking that's why people overreacted like me. I admitted it right after Twitter. I said I overreacted. I said I apologize. And then I come out this morning on YouTube and I see that Let's Be Real there. I saw that's funny that their title for their show today is going to be overreactions. I'm pretty sure they're probably going to talk about the same thing.
Yeah.
So be sure to check out their podcast as well. But I thought that was funny because how can you not overreact? They lost the first game after they lost to Nigeria and they lost to Australia also in that. Mm-hmm. And it's like, I don't know, maybe the team doesn't fit well, or maybe they're in checkout mode. I mean, that's kind of what happened with the team 5 years ago. Well, 5 Olympics ago when they lost and stuff like that.
And 2004.
And even the one
Tim Duncan was on that 2004 team, and he said he'd never play in the Olympics again. He fouled out multiple times, and he said, "This isn't fun. I hate." And he also had to play with Allen Iverson, Stephon Marbury, and like a couple.
I saw Draymond
those type of players
where somebody shot the free throw and he whacked it off the rim. Like, I think like some of the rules that it actually I like the more. I don't like the physicality, but I like how they don't call everything. Sometimes it's nice, like how they kind of let the players have to play through a few things, even if the game gets a little choppy. But I still feel like it still plays well enough. I like FIBA rules with the wider lane,
the goaltending, like
It makes it interesting.
A little more entertaining. Hey, I even like the 10-minute quarters. It's smoother. It's a 2-hour game max. I just really enjoy it.
And the Olympics don't have to do
USA thing.
The Olympics don't have to do the commercial thing quite like the NBA does, though. See, they don't have they don't have to do all those timeouts and stuff, and that's where the NBA slows down too. I mean, the game's quicker, but I don't know. I just thought
the replay challenges.
Yeah, there's just like these things with it. I like the international play. What do you think about the players, real quick? Do you think the players that play in the Olympics will have a better NBA season? Like, do you think that transitions?
I think it helps the younger guys. I think it might help like a Zach LaVine, Jason Tatum,
like
even Devin Booker. But I don't think it makes like Durant or Draymond. They've learned their little tricks.
They get some boost a little bit off the little run there. Like I could see like Luka, he's got to be an MVP favorite. He's got to be the MVP. I haven't even looked online. I'm gonna look right now as we're talking on this, but he's got to be the MVP favorite for next year already, I would think.
That would be my guess. One thing I want to get into is there if you don't have a gold medal on your like resume, is that like a negative at all? Unless as an American, if you're not an American, I don't hold it against you, but I do think you should have at least one if you're all-time great. There's 4 guys who don't.
Why should you?
AI. What?
Okay, go ahead.
AI, Steph Curry, Tim Duncan, and I'm forgetting that Isaiah Thomas.
I think those guys have one.
No, they don't.
I think Curry has one.
No, he doesn't. He's never played in the Olympics. He's always hurt.
Did he play on the World?
He won 2 FIBAs.
Yeah. Is that what I'm thinking then? Okay.
Yeah.
And Duncan was on the team that lost.
Got the bronze
with AI.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't hold. I mean, do you look at them as worst players? I don't.
I don't look at them.
I think it's kind of ridiculous in some ways that the Olympics actually matter on these guys' resumes. Like they literally just played a whole season and then they're playing again, like internationally and stuff. It's like, and they don't get the. I don't know. I don't look at it as that way at all. Like Carmelo's not the second best American player ever, but just because he has the best stats.
I'm not putting that much weight on it.
Yeah. So what are you
saying? Second best player. But I think it lifts his like Hall of Fame chances being a 3-time gold medal. Like he was a Hall of Famer without it, but I think it bolsters it. It has
definitely
some weight.
Matter to guys like your boy Draymond that now has like 2 gold medals and 3 championships and maybe doesn't have the Hall of Fame like stats at times all the way through. You know, I think that's maybe where like a Bam, like those guys, like maybe going forward, the more they get, then I think maybe that would matter more.
It's just the fact that there's so few that don't have like one that I feel like it is a little like kind of shocking.
Well, you figure these guys most of them will probably have the chance to play in 2 if they're really good. I mean, if you're an all-time great, maybe 3 or 4 just because the years. But
yeah.
I mean, that's only 2 Olympics then. So if you're either hurting one like Curry was, or you don't want to play in one, your chances are pretty much, I feel like, done at that point. You know what I mean? Because they're only there once every 4 years. So it's not like you can just like pick and choose when you want to go. I mean, if you're an all-time great, yes, but the guys like Green and Booker, like Booker might not be on the next team.
If he wants to play, he will.
Yeah, but I mean, he might not. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Maybe he's hurt at that point. Maybe he's not as good at that point. I don't know what happens. 4 years from now. So I don't know. I think that's what I think. That's why I don't put much stock into like the people winning individually. For me,
but
anyways,
if Doncic won, you'd put huge stock in that.
Yeah, because I don't know another single player on the team.
That's true. I do think it's important.
I like watching international ball. I like that it was on. I was telling Hannah, I was like, the Olympics for me are like that friend that visits you on vacation with their family, and they come in town for a couple weeks, and at first you're kind of feeling each other out because you haven't hung out in a while. The friends, the kids are kind of a little awkward, and then you kind of figure it out, and you guys are everybody's having a great time for 2 weeks. Then you're all sad for the next 2 days, and then when it's gone, it's, you know what I mean. You miss it. You know what I mean, and then you got to go without it again. It's just kind of one of those things. It's kind of like a little companion there. It's nice to have on TV. I'm not gonna lie, I like it. And that girl, she won like the 11th gold medal yesterday, Felix. I'm into the Olympics. I'm an Olympic person overall too, just to say it.
See, I don't really care about the Olympics except for basketball. I think it's just a bunch of cheaters.
Basketball?
I saw the one. Brittany Griner had a great final. Good job. Congrats.
It's like, I like how the announcers are like, they always have a size advantage. It's like, well, yeah, they're playing Japan.
So does the basketball. So does the men's team. Is KD the best? He's the best USA player as far as stats go, right? 3 gold medals, 2 30-point games in the championship games, and the 29-point game.
Yeah, don't give me any Carmelo BS or anything. Maybe like Kobe at moments had some good times or something like that, but nobody else. There's not. It can't even be close.
I'll give Kobe this, is he made the Olympics matter again. He was the one who was like, all right, and he got everybody to come back and play again, and so I'll give him that.
What was that? The 08 Olympics, something like that, or 10?
Yeah, that's when they were good again. 08. They sucked in 04, and then 08 they all came together. Kobe, LeBron,
G-Wade, and then he did it again in 2012 too, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that was his last one. Yeah, no, he definitely made it count.
So today's the last Olympic day. You'll miss it, or?
Yeah, I definitely will. I'm not gonna say like I'm out there watching every event, but I kind of just missed the idea of having it on TV, like just something kind of there on.
NBC does such a poor job of just putting it on. I feel like you have to go on Peacock. You have to go on Peacock to watch the basketball games until the final or the or the last 2 games of USA. I don't want to go on Peacock. Put it on channel 3. Like every channel is like, they're so spread out. I don't even know half the channels they're on.
I don't have this Peacock channel. I have this I have Roku, and I have this app that has like the NBC, and it's like where I'll watch like A's and Giants games too. And so basically we have Comcast. So Comcast has it has those channels there. And so I just go on Roku, and it has like a little app, like basically it looks like an app on a phone, and we'll have Olympic app, and it has like regulars, like the baseball channel app. Yeah. And I can go on the NBC app, and it literally just has like all the things that are live right now that you can watch that are going on. So I could just click on that, and I could watch it live just like it was on TV. There was no weird, for me, it wasn't weird like that, but I heard other people say the other thing. So you don't like, I like NBC's coverage. I like most of their guys that are like, and now they got the girl from ESPN. I just noticed that. Taylor, the one that had the one in Rachel Nichols got into.
Oh, well, that's good. I'm glad she got back on her feet.
Huh?
I'm glad she got a job.
Oh, she's super talented. She was going to find a job in a heartbeat.
Oh, for sure.
I remember Nick Saban getting mad at her at the sideline. He's like, don't ask me that question anymore. She was talking about Jalen Hurts, and that's I think when she blew up after that. That was funny.
All right, well, let's take a little break, get into some baseball, some Giants A's, some big news for the A's, and Giants just continue this magical season. We'll be right back. So forget what I just said. We're going back to the NBA. It's the moneymaker. Everybody cares about basketball that listens. I always get, you guys need to put timestamps for when you talk about baseball. So we're going to keep with the NBA. We're going to go into free agency. We'll start with the Warriors. That's our home team. I loved what they did. I don't think Otto Porter's a very good signing for this team. Another wing defender who can hit threes.
Will he be healthy?
That's always an issue. But Bielitsa gets to play some meaningful games for the first time in his career. I just like what they did. You got some wings who can actually defend. You're not going to be running out the Teoscars as much, the Taco Bells.
I like their signings. I think they're okay. I don't think they weren't going to do anything special unless it was a trade. We've already mentioned that like before. There was no good trade out there anyway. Yeah. I think they're just kind of in a better position than most teams. Like they actually have legitimate stars. Like, you know what I mean? They have legitimate stars if healthy. And they actually have 3 guys that aren't necessarily all going to be great, but maybe one of them will be. You know what I mean? That's the hope that maybe.
You talking about the draftees?
Yeah, them with Wiseman, including those 3, and then you got Poole, and you got, so maybe out of those 4, maybe one of them, clicks or something like that. So you got some young guys. Maybe you have some that you could trade, come the trade deadline. So I kind of actually don't mind that. Then they sign Iguodala, who I think is kind of an overrated signing at this point. I don't think that's just my opinion. Maybe he gives more than I think, but I don't see it being just like a advanced cheerleader in a sense with like a few moments of passing and understanding the system. But I'd be shocked if he gives them much more than he was on.
There's a reason he's getting the minimum.
Exactly. So that's where I'm at with that. And then I do like the Bielitsa signing. I think he actually is pretty good on offense.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how he'll play on defense, but he gives him like a good Draymond insurance on offense or something like that, or maybe they can go even small /
Hopefully
big.
he's better than Draymond on offense.
Well, what I mean is like they could play Draymond at 5 and him at the 4 possibly, and guard stuff like that, and be like a different type of matchup, or even he starts at time. So I don't mind what they did. I still like to see them address. They still need another big, I feel like, but I don't know. I don't.
You know what I think would be a good move is they could somehow get Lauri Markkanen, the sign and trade, go over the tab. It's not going to happen.
Yeah,
I know that. Like it's not, but I just think like he'd be perfect for him. Stretch four, who can move and young. I mean, obviously he's always hurt.
Yeah,
and it'd have to be a sign and trade. But
yeah, no, I think the Warriors did all right though in the
yeah, I think they're good. I liked it also. They got a lot more depth.
But Porter's got to stay healthy. I mean, he shoots good from 3. So we'll see what happens there. There's just so many trades though, and like terrible signings. I felt like, and good signings. Like I don't know. You were talking
Speaking
about
of terrible signings, who are the terrible signings in your opinion?
Why are we giving Devontae Graham $47 million? Like I don't. Like what are the Pelicans doing? Like didn't they just trade Drew Holiday for like Lonzo Ball? Gone. And now you sign like Graham to $47 million, and like I don't know, like their whole situation makes, and then they trade with the Grizzlies, and right, and they get Valanciunas. No. What do I have that wrong there? Thunder. Oh, there was some other signing there. I'm thinking they had a big guy there. I'm thinking of Adams. I think
Sam Adams.
Yeah,
Steven Adams.
And it's like you don't want him paired with. I don't know. They just kind of did some weird things, but.
That team sucks, other than Zion and Ingram. I don't know what David Griffin's doing.
And I feel like I'm maybe on the opposite side of a lot of people on this one. The Bulls signing DeRozan doesn't really make sense to me, other than just giving yourself more depth, or unless you're trading Levine possibly.
Yeah, it looks that might be a Levine Ben Simmons trade in the future.
Well, and that would be a weird trade for the Bulls, I feel like, too, because like now you have Ball and Simmons. I don't know, but whatever. I guess it's better than.
I mean, Ball can shoot now. Like he's proven he can. He shot 8 3-pointers and shot like 39% from 3. So he can play off the ball now a little better than I ever thought he was going to be able to.
I mean, him and Simmons to me would be be kind of an interesting duo. I don't see.
I think it'd be good. I like that backcourt. It's big.
I'd be curious how they ran stuff in the last 4 minutes of critical games, but that would.
It's going to be isolation Levine.
Well, I'm saying he would be gone if you had Simmons. So.
Oh, well, anything with Simmons is going to be interesting. You watch them run anyway.
Well, especially if you have 2 guys that can't do anything off it. So that'll be interesting. Ball can shoot, but I still haven't seen him create enough off the dribble for me to put him in that category yet. Of like, I mean, he got $85 million. I think that was a good signing for the Bulls in terms of like value, in terms of like 4 years he could outplay that contract, and if he doesn't. Maybe you get burned a little bit, but it's not like horrible. But I just thought the DeRozan one was a little weird to me. I know people like that one.
Who they bidding against on that DeRozan one? That's the thing. Why is he getting 83?
Well, same with Derrick Rose. Why did he get so much from the Knicks? I don't get it. Like, was the team really going to pay him $38 million for 3 years?
Yeah, I wouldn't think so. I wouldn't. I'm not giving anybody.
That just seems crazy to me. I don't know. That was kind of an odd one to me. Well, you like anyone that stood out to you? Like,
I like the Lonzo Ball signing. I thought that was good. I don't get why the Pelicans didn't bring him back. It makes to get Devontae Graham is insane.
Yeah,
Devontae Graham can score, but that's about it. He can't score inside the 3-point line either. He shoots like 38% inside the 3-point line and 38% outside. Can't guard anybody. Yeah. Ingram doesn't guard anybody. Zion hasn't guarded anybody yet. I'm sure he can when he's in the competitive basketball situation. It's a dumpster fire over there. I don't know what David Griffin's doing.
The other signing I thought was weird was Andre Drummond to the Sixers. Did you see their little handshake? Shake between Embiid and him when they met? It was kind of off. But they were always trolling each other on social media, and it's like, I guess it's just big man insurance to play the same system, but newsflash, they're not the same.
Not even
You know what I mean? Like,
close.
so I don't understand that one really very much at all. Like, you can't play them together, can you? I mean, I guess you
No.
could, but you'd have to really.
You're moving Embiid to the 4.
But what if they threw out a lineup just for like, if they probably could for like 5 minutes? Like, we're just gonna go to Embiid in the post, and we're gonna put Drummond on the block, on the other block, and if you double, he's gonna get every offensive rebound. Is if you went him, I don't know how you could spread the court.
I already know where you're going with it.
Him, Thibault, Simmons, the two bigs, and like your spread the court is like Curry or something. Yeah, I mean, like that'd be such a big lineup in there. You'd have to slow it down. That's where you need the 35-second shot clock.
It literally would be like middle school basketball, just them play, like trying to get layups and missing and layups and playing volleyball over the rim.
Are the Heat gonna crack the top 3 with the team they got?
No, I don't think so. I think
this is
they're
their
overrated.
team.
They're overrated. I don't like them. I don't like the team. They can't score. They don't have anybody who you're like, okay, he can go get me a bucket.
Even with Lowry now?
I mean, he's not that. He's good, but he's 37.
It's true.
How many 37 other than Chris Paul? But I guess. But how many 37-year-olds are?
Yeah,
getting you buckets consistently.
It's definitely an interesting team, right? Lowry, Butler, and then they signed Robinson to a massive deal, 5 years, $90 million. That's like those contracts to me are crazy. Like, and the Jazz, they signed Conley to a 3-year, $70 million deal. It's like, I don't know. They're all just like, to me, they just maybe it just feels overpaid. I guess they're not, but it just feels like so much money for like borderline.
But you can't let them go for free.
Yeah, you know what signing I did kind of like too. Well, first of all, I don't know how the Nets were able to get Griffin back on a minimum deal. That's great value there. And then I kind of did like the Caruso to the Bulls signing. I did like that one that the Bulls kind of made. I felt like that was kind of an underrated sign. I think he's actually pretty good. But now they just like, you're right. It just feels like Levine's gone there if they don't want to pay him max money. And I love how he goes, this is, I'm sorry, I'm getting on a tangent here with the Bulls, but he goes, I just want them to show me my respect. It's like, what? Like, you're not a max player. You're like $172 million is pretty good respect. It's not maybe 210, but my gosh,
he scored 27.
Would you pay him a max money?
No, I'm not paying. If that's what I had to pay, I'm not letting him go for free.
Exactly.
So I guess you got to trade him.
And that's the point where you're like the owner. You're like, you're 40 million worth of that. You're not worth that. But you know what I mean? Like, it's the players like, well, either that's what I'm worth or I'm leaving. I don't know.
But he is one of those guys that made substantial improvements every year, which is nice to see. Like,
no doubt.
Could he have a Booker run if he was put in the right situation? I don't think Booker's that much better.
Yeah, maybe I'm just not as high on him. Maybe I just feel like he's more of a stat guy at times. But
he loses all the time. So yeah.
No, but he does play on bad teams and stuff like that. You know, he definitely does have what you would want, like him a playoff time, like shooting, athleticism, like definitely want that and stuff. So maybe he just needs to be on a better team for me to see that.
Yeah, it just.
Did you like?
It's going to be an interesting season. What?
What was your signing you liked the most?
There was a net signing that I liked. I can't remember who they signed. They signed somebody who I was like, how the hell did they get him to go there?
Patty Mills?
Yeah, that was it.
That was a good signing.
He's not going to play any defense, but does it really matter if it's just basically Kyrie Irving backup. If he goes AWOL and you got a proven point guard who's made big shots, not scared. So I like that signing.
Curry got like $60 million a year.
Whatever. Give him the franchise.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah, and there was one other one. I tried to look. The one that I thought was kind of an interesting one here. That's right. No, I thought Jarrett Allen. He got a 5-year, $100 million contract. Like, how much is DeAndre Ayton gonna get? Remember we were talking about that with Jarrett Allen. Got $100 million for 5 years. Come on, let's be honest. Like, if me and you are watching the game on TV, like most people can say he's not 5-year, $100 million. He does some nice things. He does, but there's no way in a big game he's played.
No, not a lot. But you got to think about it. The contracts are so absurd now. Like 260 million. So like 100 million is like, well, you're getting a third of that guy.
Big guy's been doing this crap for years. They've been getting like Todd McCullough. Remember, he's the first.
Remember O'Donnell Foyle? He got like
Yes,
10 mil back in. Yeah, you did. That was. You need a big guy, like, not that big guy. Yeah, it's gonna be a fun season.
Yeah, it will be. It's not even over. There's still gonna be some trades before the season starts, probably.
Yeah, I want to see where marketing ends up. I think he's gonna be good if he stays healthy and just put him on a better roster with a better culture.
Utah.
I've seen him make big shots in Arizona. He wasn't scared. And he's physical. He's not soft. Like when he's healthy, he's not a soft guy. You just have to.
What team would you like to see him on? Like Boston or something?
That'd be a great fit. Put him with Tatum and Brown.
Would they trade him to Boston? Probably not.
Yeah, they probably want to send him out west.
Yeah, I don't know who they could get though. Probably a pick maybe.
Boston doesn't have any picks.
Yeah, that's true. We're doing. To finish.
You want to get into baseball in a bit? Let's take a quick break.
Yeah,
we'll get into some baseball.
Yeah.
Oh, we got a magical season brewing in San Francisco after last night. After this whole season, and then last night's game is just stupendous.
Well, explain a little bit of your crap.
Well, we're down. I'm not part of the team. They're down 2-1. No, yeah, 2-1.
You just mentioned were. You threw a were out there. I like that. You're getting into it now. You're into the season.
They're my favorite team. I'm not part of it.
You're into it. I like it.
I'm very into it. We're down 2-1 going to the ninth. We see a 300-foot pop fly. 300 foot. This ball was hit high and far off Tommy LaStella's bat. And you don't see pop-up dances that 300 feet out there. They're normally around second base or first base, and you see a little pop-up dance. And now Yasiel Garcia starts dancing, trying to catch this ball. And what do you know? They drop it. Giants tie it up. Next inning, we go up 3 runs. This is my nitpick. Harlan Garcia comes in, gives up 3 runs. I'm like, what the hell is going on? How do you blow this game? They gave it to us. Then Brandon Belt hits a homer, and we go up like 9-5, and we pull it off. And got 70 wins. The crazy thing about this Giants team is every month they're either 16-10 or 15-9. It just seems like they're going to win 2/3 of their games every month with mediocre talent.
They're better than mediocre talent.
I would. Where's the great talent? I guess now
they have guys that maybe are just a little bit past their prime, and then some guys that maybe just were underlooked that are like performing pretty well. Like they got guys that are like pretty good. But hold on, back to that game. We got to describe this a little bit differently here for a second, because the Brewers broadcast, it's 2-1 with 2 freaking outs. All you got to do is catch a freaking fly ball in right field, and he hits an easy, lazy fly ball. And he's running down the line, and then he does the 2-foot shuffle all the way to like 12 feet down the damn line.
The pop-up dance.
And then I love how he does the Casey Breyer at the end, and he tries to come forward on both knees to try to catch the ball. And it still bounces forward on it, and he gives up the run. And then I love how the game, I fell asleep. I go, it's 2-2, and then I check, and it's 9-5. So it's like that runner on second base, man, makes extra innings. I actually like that rule. First of all,
I hate it.
I love that.
Trash rule.
All right, let's ask you about the Giants.
My humble opinion.
About the Giants real quick, because you're talking about 70 wins. They got to be – the reason you're like, well, I don't know they have average talent. They don't have average talent anymore. They might have – I think they have above average talent that now has just utter belief they're going to win every game. I mean, they were down 4-0 with like 2 outs.
Having belief isn't talent, though.
Well, it's part of mental talent. It's part of it is a skill.
Okay, it's not a skill.
It is.
Okay, you can if you want to consider this skill. I'm not considering having faith in yourself a talent. They have mediocre. Where's their talent? They have okay players everywhere who have roles that they fulfill and do. They do their job. There's no one out there you're going, wow, this guy is a real talent, except Chris Bryant and maybe Posey. And Gosman has been good up until like last month.
You made it sound like it was a fairy tale thing there. No, what I mean by belief in the skills, not you're up there like, oh, I believe.
I said it exactly how you said it.
What I mean by belief is that you're up there and they understand the situation enough that their at bats usually get better in those situations. I've noticed, like they're elite. The thing the Giants do that my A's don't do enough in situations like that is they put the ball in play. I feel like a lot more than the A's do. Like they seem to at least battle in good situations. Like, yeah, of course they mess up here or there, but when you win 70 wins and you're winning on 4, and they're getting good, like they're just having a magical season. They're down 4-0. They didn't even have a runner on second base the whole game, I think. Maybe third base or something like that the whole game. And then they come up and win the game. So I don't know. You guys are, as a baseball fan, you guys are just you're just having one of those years.
Yeah, it's just one of those. But my one nitpick is we have way too many lefties in the bullpen and not a good enough. Rogers is our only good righty.
Mateo brought that up too.
We don't have any right-handed pitch. Yeah, he did, and he's right. They need a right-handed relief pitcher.
Well, they're not getting anybody now unless it's in their farm system.
I mean, no, you can get those like late guys. I don't think he can play in the playoffs. But yeah, there's always those waiver options. Like they get waived or they get.
Yeah, I guess you could have something like that. But I think pretty much this is your roster at this point. There's no like buyouts anymore, like the August buyout anymore. Are you going to try to catch a game before the season ends?
No, probably not. It's too expensive, and with COVID coming back, they're just gonna. It's not that I would go. It's just too expensive, and they're limiting seats. And
if somebody said, "Hey, Tyler, here's 2 free tickets," you might give.
I'm going. Yeah, I'm going. I'm calling in sick to work, and I'm going.
So do they hold on? I mean, there's only like 45 games left, right? 50.
At this point, I can't imagine them not at least making the wild card. I'm
gonna look up the standings real quick.
They're 4.5 up on the Dodgers. They're 7.5 up in the wild card, or 8.5. They're gonna make the playoffs. If they don't, it's a big. You
owe them a big apology. Blow. You were very mean to the Giants in the offseason. You were not a believer. Very negative.
It motivated them to be who they are now. They believe now.
What are you skipping?
They needed those haters. They need haters. Everybody needs a hater to.
They got a hold of the podcast. They do your hate.
Yeah, they 54 subscribers were getting in their DMs saying.
What team scares you the most in that L if you're playing the Giants? Okay, so like the rest of the team, like your dad will, if your dad was answering this, any Giants fan, Mateo, what team out there scares you the most? I didn't ask him that. I asked him if I wanted to play the Dodgers. They scare you the most, huh?
Yeah, we can't hit Bueller. We don't hit Kershaw if he's healthy. So there's Brewers. 2 losses basically. Brewers they don't have hitting. Their hit bats don't scare me.
Their pitching's pretty good though.
Oh yeah, Woodruff and Burns is just not Dodgers, and Scherzer's on the Dodgers. Yeah, the Dodgers absolutely.
Yeah, they don't.
But I've said from the beginning the Giants starting pitching scares me. Now it doesn't really scare because baseball's such a bullpen game now. Anyway,
that's where I think the Giants aren't very good. That's why I think they would struggle in the playoffs.
Yeah, I agree.
Is the bullpen,
but I expect them to lose in the first round of the playoffs. And we're being real about this.
The Diamondbacks are 35.5 games out. Oh my gosh. And they have 35 wins. They have more games out than they have wins. That is not good in baseball at all.
How many are the Rockies out?
They're 20 out. So they got still a 15 and a half.
They're hanging in tough.
They're hanging in tough, yeah, I guess if you want to call it that. Yeah, baseball's going to be, this is where it gets good though, the last few weeks of the season. Your fantasy team's falling apart. You're trading everybody, so you're not gonna be checking out here on the season, are you?
No, never. I'm still looking to make more moves. Please send me a trade.
You got to try to keep getting those picks in fantasy baseball. That's the key.
Absolutely. Before we get into fantasy, let's get into your A's. They made a great trade at the deadline, in my opinion, with Marte.
He's got to be secretly the rip. He's got to be like ripped. That guy's whatever. Like he's at bat. I'm like, that guy looks like he has like 0% body fat on him.
He's not even a big guy though, but he's like.
It looks like he looks like Leo though. Just the way he's like holding the bat, his like muscles like popping out of his bicep. He's great for us. They actually have a guy that steals bases. That's a miracle.
Speaking of rip guys, got tested for PEDs. Playing the same position as Marte.
Oh,
Does this coincide with Marte coming in? And do you think Laureano said, or has he been doing it the whole time? What are these guys doing? Why are we still doing steroids?
Remember the A's guy? The A's randomly are like the team that gets caught the most still. Like they had Montas last year. They had a couple guys in like minor league get caught. It's like, what the heck's going on? It's Jose Canseco, these training camps. What's going on here? Like, I don't know I'm not sure what the hell's the deal here. It's gonna hurt him for sure. I mean, he can win a game for you. I have my issues with him, but he has a great arm and he's a good defender. So we're definitely gonna miss them. The A's had the best defense going into yesterday in the whole entire league. So we'll see if that continues. That matters in baseball, people having a good defense, especially when you can't score. So it's very important for them to have a good defense. So I don't know, maybe Piscotty has to play more, but he was pretty bad before. So I don't know. They'll probably just start doing that platoon thing with him and Brown again at this point. So I like Marte though. Back to him. Yeah. Great trade. They need an electrical player. It sucks that I know he's gone after the season, but as an A's fan, you just kind of have to enjoy these like short-term guys at the time when you get them.
Did the Giants copy the A's in the way they're with money though? In the way they're doing these platoons and
because the guy came very
reminiscent. Did he go from the A's to the Dodgers to the Giants?
He worked for Billy Beane. He worked under Frost.
They remind me of the A's teams with a little more put the ball in play from like the last 3 years the A's had. Just platoons. You don't have like the greatest players, but you have guys who can hit righties but can't hit lefties. You have lefties who can't hit certain things, and it just works somehow.
Yeah, and I think and they can do it. They have more money too, so they can kind of play that. They can kind of play that system, and then now they can actually go after like a Chris Bryant and possibly keep him and something like that. Mm-hmm. So they're in a way better position.
We got into the MVP talk with Mateo. By the way, thank you, Mateo. I was supposed to thank you in the intro. It slipped my mind, I guess. But if Bryce Harper wins a second MVP, is he the worst two-time MVP probably in baseball? The list is pretty short. Like when you look at, I wish I had the list on me, but
off the top of my head, I would say he probably has to be up there as probably one of the more no-name guys up there. Is Kirk Gibson a two-time MVP?
Names. What?
Is Kirk Gibson a two-time MVP?
No,
I guess I know he won one, but maybe he didn't win two. I was thinking maybe he'd be kind of a no-name up there.
The most MVPs before Bonds went to 7 was only 3.
I would say he'd probably be.
I mean, he has a big name, but he has some bad years where you're like, man, this guy. Not bad, but like 250.
No, he had bad years for getting paid $350 million.
Yeah, exactly.
No, he definitely had bad years, no doubt about it. Like you can't, you can't get paid that much money and then not perform at all. So I'd say definitely he's on there. I didn't know Mo Vaughn won the MVP randomly in here. He did, 1995.
With Boston?
Yeah.
Yeah, I never knew he went on. That's one of the heavier MVPs.
I don't see a two-time MVP that I hate. That would probably have to be in the American League. They all seem pretty legit. I was trying to think. I see Josh Hamilton won one. Joe Mauer. Is Juan Gonzalez kind of he's a two-time MVP.
Okay, I'd take Pudge. How many of Pudge? All those Rangers were on roids.
He might be the guy. I was thinking Kirk Gibson, but let's see. He didn't win one in the American League. I was thinking if he won one with the Tigers that he possibly be on the list, but he didn't. I'm trying to think. Bagwell, Larkin, that's pretty legit. Sosa, no, he's only one time. The Phillies, I always felt about Ryan Howard and Rollins. Yeah, they'd be on there.
Yeah.
You know who definitely would jump the list now would be like Christian Yelich, something like that, if he wins it again.
Yeah, I would definitely put him in. He's hitting 211 and strikes out half the time.
Sucks this year. It just sucks.
Yeah,
it's not having a good year.
Player. It's not Acuna. It's not Tatis.
No. Are we ever going to get one of these guys from our fancy baseball league on this thing so we can start talking trash to them or something like that? Like I want to get them on the they text us on here. I'm kind of calling them out a little bit. It's like, come on here. Let me and Tyler rip on your team a little bit. We want to talk trash to you. We want to be able to insult you. Like, you can insult other people too. Like, we need to have a conversation, like why Tyler, quits on the team, or, whatever they want to say to you. Like, if there's one guy you want to talk to, who would it be on there besides your cousin?
My other cousin?
Yeah.
I don't want to talk to any of these guys. I don't know. I can get them. I don't know them.
I thought you wanted on the podcast.
They're competitors. They can be on the podcast.
Exactly.
I'd love to have them on, I guess, but I don't need to talk to them. They can come to me. They can talk.
Good. That's funny. That's funny.
Who do you want? You want Dark Horse, probably.
I kind of want the new guy. I kind of want the new guy now. I kind of want the new guy on there. I kind of want to talk to him a little bit. Let's get his thoughts on there. Get both of them on. We should have those two on. I think your cousin would be good too. Yeah. I don't know. We'll see. Yeah, I gotta get my next article out for the A's here, so I'm gonna try to do it on Marte. Speaking of the A's, Ray Fosse praise up. Nobody probably knows him if you aren't around here, but he's an A's broadcaster. I have ripped on him many times for being boring, but he's still the voice of the A's. He's kind of one of those people you just got to grow up with, basically, right? Like, you got to know him for every A's game. So sad. I guess he's been fighting cancer for 16 years. I didn't know. Crazy. And so he's going to step away for a little bit. So, sad news, obviously. Hopefully he'll be able to come back and do it. So that'd be a lot of things. Kuiper had it too for the Giants a little bit. He had to step away.
He still has it.
Yeah, he kind of comes back. So
I wish I had the drop a Field of Dreams of Ray.
Yeah, Ray. So he's kind of a legend in the A's. Think about it, he's stuck around the most. Nobody in that franchise is very stable. Honestly, like, if you think of it,
Billy.
But even he was hired in 1986 as their broadcaster. Like,
that's pretty stable then. Oh, Ray, or
I'm just saying, like, besides Billy Beane, Ray Fosse is like the next guy that's been there like through that whole entire run, even as an announcer. He played for him even like the 70s. So he's kind of been there. It's just kind of like that guy, basically.
And he's always very positive towards the A's, and he's like, he represents the A's in a good like as well as you can.
He's the Giants version.
Sometimes they're a hard team to defend. Sometimes
he does it.
Yeah, and he finds a way.
He finds a way to do it. I heard a good story. Remember when Coco Crisp hit that walk-off single against the Tigers? He forced a Game 5.
Yeah.
Well, on the radio call, like, Ray Fosse like completely cuts off the guy, Ken Korak, making the call, because he just yells out this like they just starts to yell. He just starts yelling, yeah,
just like a fan.
He was telling the story yesterday how he's like, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I got all over your call and ruined it. He's like, if there's one guy in this organization that can do that, it's you. Yeah, I mean, basically that's what he said to him. So, anyways, I had to get that in there.
All right, let's take a little break, and we're going to conclude this thing.
All right, we'll get it.
All right, I want to play a quick little game with you. Guess this player based on stats. He's got 2 rings, 2 finals MVPs, 1 defensive player of the year, 1 MVP, 4 defensive first teams, 9 scoring titles, and 3 steals titles.
I'm assuming we're talking basketball. Let's see here.
Yes, that's it. Well, before you go any longer, it's a trick question. It's what separates Jordan from LeBron. That's insane. It's not close in this. Who's a better player?
Did you just watch
LeBron's? No. I just, it's always going on. I'm going to keep it going. I just don't get it. How LeBron's going to accumulate the better stats, like totals, career totals, more points, more rebounds, more assists. But you look at per game averages, it's pretty close. But it's like that's a easy Hall of Famer. It's like a top 25 player of all time.
And that's what he does not. That's what LeBron does.
That's what LeBron does not have.
Is there anything? What's the biggest thing I wonder LeBron has over Jordan?
Twitter.
Like, besides like that, like, is there something besides like durability or something like that? Is there like a stat category? It's got to be assists, right? It's probably where he's just way
assists and rebounding.
Yeah, he's got
and 3-point shooting, maybe.
Yeah, I'd say that's probably where he probably has the massive advantage.
I just saw these things. I was like, that is an unreal career and that's still what LeBron has to catch up. 9 scoring titles, 4 defensive first teams.
you give me, this is what I'll say about it. If you give me LeBron or Jordan, to me, the argument always comes down to like on something so small like that, so small. I mean, we're talking.
Is that small though?
I think it is. I think if I watch them eye to eye test, I can see greatness just so obviously.
Oh, they're both great. LeBron's top 3 player of all time.
But what separates Michael Jordan is that kind of what he said in his documentary is he doesn't mind being an a-hole. He doesn't mind people not liking him. And I think that matters a little bit. I'm not saying he's a jerk about it all the time, but he's a jerk enough about it. And he's so good that he makes people so on edge that he's able to raise up his level of play to such a insane level in stressful situations when nobody else is willing to really take those shots or those moments, or he's even just willing to push them aside and do it. And that's the difference. I mean, it just is. It's like, I don't really know what other than that. Like, key moments, like LeBron has proof. Like, doesn't mean he's a terrible player. We're talking the smallest amount here. Like in Miami, that doesn't happen to Jordan. You know, he doesn't.
Yeah, there's no 3-game stretch in the NBA Finals where he scores 15, 15, and 17.
It's not happening.
It just doesn't happen.
No, he's a killer. He's an absolute freaking killer. So I'm
that Luke Longley story that just got released.
Yeah, the one hilarious. I posted.
Yeah, that's a hilarious story. All right, let's conclude this thing. We are the Fatboy FadeAway podcast. It was your birthday. I don't really care where you ate at, but what was on that plate?
I went with cheese raviolis, homemade or not homemade. Well, homemade at the restaurant, yes.
Made at the
Italian restaurant. I was craving
it.
Okay,
well, where did you go? I want to know where you went. Actually, I lied.
You know what? I actually don't even know what it was called, but it was weird. We tried to go through the front door in Healdsburg there, and it said closed, and it was like go through the back door. That always worries me. So I went, but we went around anyways, and we couldn't find the darn place. And thankfully, we ran into somebody, I guess, that works next to it. And it's like literally you had to go through a back alley into this like restaurant over there. So yeah, my parents couldn't find it. We had to go look for them, and so yeah, we. It's like called something. I just forget what it's called, but I haven't been there before. But I ought to look it up. We were gonna try to go to Coppola, but they were too
busy.
Reservations were done at that point. So went over there, good food, a little pasta. So yeah, that's what I ended up having yesterday.
Some cheese wraps. What type of sauce?
Marinara.
Nicely done.
That's the way it is there.
Any bread?
No bread. No bread. Just there. A little lemonade.
Watching that figure.
Hot. It was just hot yesterday. I already had the beers with you at lunch. I had to back up a little. I had to back out a little bit.
Going to work wasn't fun.
I hadn't been to that one. That was a pretty cool bar there. For anybody that hasn't been out to Sonoma County, the Russian River Brewery, they do have some good beers. I gotta say that.
Beer is fantastic.
The Blind Pig. The Blind Pig. You gotta go with that one. Everybody goes to Pliny the Elder, but 8% at 11 o'clock is a little too much for me.
Especially when you got to drive.
Yeah, exactly. Can't be pulling that out. That was good, man. You did good this week.
Yeah, it was fun.
Good.
Next week, maybe we'll go back to normal. Maybe Darren will make me prove myself again.
Yeah, we'll make Tyler post a little.
But
Tyler's still gotta go solo one of these times.
Yeah. It was fun. I like doing all the topics and whatnot.
Yeah, it was good. All right.
Well, thank you. Like and subscribe. And
Brian Johnson, next week, bring it. None of this weak stuff next week. I want to hear your football takes next week. We got to get into football more right next week. It's starting.
Yeah.
Brian Johnson.
Less than a month away or a month away.
And we want Baby Chef, and we're gonna pick on Baby Chef. So be ready, Brian. We're coming at you. All right. All right, T. Take it easy.
Yep.